Putting all these documents into a book panel isn't much help if you can't print or export the whole thing at one time. Fortunately, if you peek inside a book panel's flyout menu, you see a bunch of options for pre-flighting, exporting, printing your documents. However, note that it only prints or exports the files you have selected in the book panel. If you want to select more than one, you can use Shift-click to select more than one in a row, or hold down the Command key on the Mac or Control key on Windows and click to select individual documents. In this case, we want to print or export all the documents, so we're going to click in the blank area at the bottom of the panel to deselect everything. When none is selected, it's as though they're all selected. Now we can go up to the flyout menu and pre-flight the entire book, or package the entire book, or in this case we want to export or print it. You can also use the print button here in the bottom of the book panel. If you click on this, it'll print the whole book. Or, here's a little secret trick, if you hold down Option on the Mac or Alt on Windows, it turns that into an export button. This will export your entire book as a PDF file. I'll go ahead and click Save, and it'll open the Export Adobe PDF Options dialog box. We're familiar with this dialog box. We covered this in detail back in the Essential Training title. If we had printed the document, it would have opened the Print dialog box, which is the same thing as the normal Print dialog box. But in both cases, note that you cannot change the range. You cannot specify a page range. You always get the entire document, or in this case, the entire book. Some people like turning on the Spreads checkbox when they have a Facing Pages document. They think they need to do that if they have a left and right-hand page, but you do not want to have this turned on if you're sending something to a printer or an output provider, for final artwork. Spreads is really only for proofing a document so you can see the pages together. It's not for final output. In this case, I'm going to view my PDF after exporting, and I'll go ahead and change this a little bit. Why don't I turn on my crop marks and page information? Actually, why don't I just turn on all my printer marks? That'll be easier for us to see, and I can go through and make sure everything else is the way we want it to be. Transparency flattener is on high. I don't think I have transparency in here, but just in case, I like making sure this is set to high. All the normal things that we see in the export dialog box. Then I'll click Export, and it'll go through the entire book and quickly make a PDF of every page, all 88 pages of it. I'll click OK, and it'll quickly make my PDF. It'll go through the entire book panel, opening each one of those documents behind the scenes, turning it into a PDF, and saving it to disk as one big single PDF, 88 pages long. Here, we've opened it in Acrobat, and I'll view this in Window so we can see that we've got the crop marks and the page information and so on. And if we go through our document, you see all the information is there, the entire document. So that's it. We've created a whole book from soup to nuts, from table of contents to an index, and then we exported it as a single PDF file. And that's great if it's a book headed for print. But what if our readers will be viewing this on screen? Well, in that case, it would be helpful if we added some buttons, or maybe even movies and hyperlinks to turn it from a book into an ebook. That's what we're going to be looking at in the next chapter.